So, I'm going to talk about something that I used to think I would never do. I used to think that it was a bit of an odd practice, and that's journaling. I had a real aversion to thinking of journaling. It was something that it's not something that grown men do. Um, it's not something that adults do. It's something that teenagers do, and typically, teenage girls will journal. Also known back in my day as a diary. I don't even know if they still call it that, but uh, you know, I've never journaled before, and when I started doing it, I now wish that I had been journaling for years, and it has given me the ability to look back, on a month ago, several months ago, and sort of look at what was going through my mind, see if anything changed. I will tell you that I'm not quite sure if I'm journaling correctly. I honestly do not know that. I do know that it's something that I've gotten into a habit to do. I journal typically 5 days a week. I'm working on making it a daily habit, but my weekends, I sort of, I don't know, fall off the momentum, the morning routine bandwagon on Saturdays and Sundays, which is something that I'm gonna put into another video at some time. But you know, so how do you start? How do you start doing that? How did I start doing that? So one of the things that I have found being a part of the community that I've joined, which is the Emerge Go Abundance community, is that there are people in the community of all ages, of all experience, much further down the path that I am, much behind where I'm at. And I went to an event, and people had been talking about journaling. One of the things that talked about is having a journal and journaling your experiences, or journaling what's going on during your day. And I was at an event, and I ended up walking out onto a public balcony at the hotel we were at. And one of the members that I had not really ever met before was sitting there, and he had a book with him, but he also had a journal with him. And it was obvious that he either had just got done journaling or he had planned on journaling. And I noticed that, and luckily throughout the rest of that weekend that I was there, I got to know him a little bit, and found he was at minimum 20 years younger than me. And one of the things that stood out to me is that this young man, that I call him young man, but he was in his 30s, journaled. And I honestly, this was a thought that came to my head, is that if this young man finds it helpful to him, then what do I have to lose? Right? Let's I don't know everything. So let's just look at this in a scenario that if somebody younger than me is trying to go down a path inside the community that I'm in, and he's journaling, there must be something to it. And then the more I talked to people, a lot of people, a lot of successful people journal. One of my favorite rock stars, as a matter of fact, he journals and has turned it into several books and tons of songs, and he's journaled most of his life. So so then the question becomes of is why hadn't I done it before, right? And I think I alluded to that a minute ago, which is, I never thought it was something that a grown adult male did. It wasn't masculine to do it, right? And I'm not a person who is, oh, it's all men things, right? No, it's not that, but it was something that I don't have any, close friends that do it. I don't have any family members that do it that I know of. But it was something that it was one of those things that never crossed my mind as being useful, or had any reason behind doing it. And then once I you know sort of drop that idea, drop that misconception on what it could do. I'm glad that I started doing it, and really, the other catalyst that I didn't cover before of when I started journaling is I went to another retreat, and at the retreat, a gift we were given was an actual journal, and it felt a little inconsiderate, really and truly, not to at least give it a go. Somebody spent the time to actually pick out this journal for us and give it to us. It's a nice quality journal, came with a very nice pen, and so I used it and started journaling, and I'm very glad I did. But why I did not before was not because I couldn't buy my own journal or find a nice pen or anything like that. It was just it really sort of fell outside of like what I felt normal, grown adult males did. Um, I have I have changed that opinion completely, and so I guess the third thing is what do I hope to get from it? And I guess it would be that I'm expecting some level of clarity, some way of writing the thoughts in my head. I literally journal a single page. That's all I journal. One page a day. I put the date. I mark the day, and then I journal. And I journal whatever comes to my head. Like I just start writing. And some days I get done writing, and I'm like, well, what was the purpose of that? And it doesn't come clear until possibly me flipping back through, just curious what I wrote, and I don't remember writing it, but I read something poignant. Maybe I get an idea for something or an idea for a video out of it. But what it does is, it's part of my morning routine, and what it does is it lets me, without getting any information from the day, news, politics, work, family. No, before any of that happens, I get to get the thoughts that are in my head out on paper. And it's not really for anybody to read. I don't have it locked away or anything. I don't know if anybody's looked at it. I don't really care. I don't say like things about people in it. It doesn't typically have a subject. It's just what's in my head. And I'm hoping that as I continue doing it, it becomes clear to me what the long term purpose of it is. I asked the question: should I be writing down like vital information? Should it just be anything in my head that I put on paper? Should it be about a subject? There are things you can do that they're called journaling prompts. They're basically a question. You write the question and then you answer the question, and they're thought inducing questions, right? I haven't started using those yet. I have a list of them, and that's something that it may become a practice where I say, okay, 2 times a week I'm going to use one of these questions to prompt me and see where it goes. But I really believe now that I've started doing it, and you know they say that most successful people do journal, and I'm not sure if they journal because other successful people have, or if journaling gives them a place to drop their thoughts. Maybe they work out a complex problem at in their company or in their daily work. I haven't gotten there yet. What I have gotten is when I don't do it, it's now such a morning routine habit that even when I wasn't working out, I was still combining it with meditating and journaling to to keep that habit going. And when I don't write it down, use the journal and write it, I feel as if something's missing out of my day. So maybe that's what it's supposed to do, is just give me another thing to keep me on track, and to sort of put my thoughts in that I can then reflect back on at some point in time. So, if you're looking, if you're trying to figure your next step, if you're looking to move on to the next phase, or if you're trying to figure out what that possibly could be, or maybe you're trying to figure out why you're discontent in where you're at. I would challenge you to go buy a journal, something as simple as, you know, a little book with pages in it. It doesn't have anything fancy. It doesn't even have to say word journal on it. It can just be a notepad with a, you know, a very inexpensive pen or pencil, and write. Don't type on your phone. Don't journal on your laptop, or, you know, on a computer, on a tablet, or something. Write. Actually, commit word to paper using a pen. It's more personal. It does come out differently, and you know, there's no backspace or edit or, you know, a word processing product to tell you misspelled something, that doesn't exist. But I would say that that is probably a very good step. Not probably, it definitely is a very good step to start your journey to your future self. Just getting the information out, just getting what you're feeling out, just getting your angst out, getting what you're happy about, you're sad about, what you're looking forward to, what you're not looking forward to. And it sort of becomes a record of where you were, and then it helps you track where you're going by reflecting upon that. So yeah, my challenge to you would be is just start. Just go buy yourself a pad of paper and just start writing down. So would love your any comments, any your thoughts down in the comments section. Love for you to subscribe to the channel. It really does help. And if there's anything I can answer, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll reply. And until we talk again, live life like you mean it.